Hello everyone and welcome to RECode 3, an event conducted by Coding Club of PSG College of Technology. And my name is VISHAL, my roll number is 22I372 and I am currently pursuing my BTech IT degree in PSG College of Technology. This video is exploring about a tool. So the tool which I chose is Visual Studio Code, and the reason for it is its versatility, cross-platform, and it supports multiple programming languages. It is also a lightweight but with powerful features like IntelliSense, debugging, and Git configurations. There are a lot of features and functionalities available in VS Code, but the key features and functionalities which I am going to discuss is IntelliSense, debugging, extensions, and Git support. With respect to IntelliSense, VS Code's IntelliSense feature provides smart code completions based on variable types, function definitions, and imported modules. This makes writing code faster and more accurate as it automatically suggests the correct syntax and functions. With respect to the debugging feature, we can set breakpoints and where we can inspect variables and step through the code all without needing a separate tool. This simplifies the process of identifying and resolving bugs. And with respect to extension support, VS Code has an extensive extensions marketplace allowing you to customize the editor to fit your specific needs. Whether it is adding support for different languages or productivity tools like Prettier for formatting, VS Code can adapt to any project requirements. And the most powerful feature is Git integration. With integrated Git support, you can manage your project's version control directly within the editor. Committing, pushing, and pulling code from repositories is seamless, and you can easily track the changes in your codebase. Now let us see a live demo of these features and a project demonstration. So when you open the VS Code, initially after the setup page, you will be having a welcome screen where there are few features like creating a new file, opening a file or opening a folder, and cloning a Git repository, and many more features. So in the menu bar, there are a few menus like file, edit, selection, view, go, run, terminal, and help. In the file, we will be having features like creating a text file or creating a file with any extension, creating a new window, or creating a new window with some other profile, or opening a file or opening a folder, and many more options are available there. In the edit feature, like we are allowed to use undo, redo, cut, copy, paste. It's all about the editing of the code. In the selection, there are a few things which are very much helpful when you are writing HTML codes, and those things can be controlled using the selection panel. Next to which is the view tab, which shows us the command palette, or we can edit the layout of this app and the appearance of the app, where we can also go to Explorer or search or source control using this view tab. Nextly, this go menu is useful to go to some other file, or in order to switch any editor, or we have to move to some other files in some other folders. This menu will be useful. This run menu is useful when you want to run a code, and there are features like running the code without debugging and with debugging. We can also toggle if we add a breakpoints, and the code will be running with debugging. And if you don't want the code to run without debugging, we can toggle the breakpoints, and some other features are also available there. And this terminal will be useful to see your output, where if there are problems in your code, it will be displayed over there, and the output or debug console, all those things will be available in the terminal. And finally, the help tab, where all the commands or all the manuals kind of things will be over there. And in the right side, there is a triangle kind of thing which is useful to run a code, which is added after installing an extension called Code Runner. And the next thing is split editor. So if you want a two editor in one window, we can use that split editor. And above these Code Runner and split editor, you can see a few small icons, which is to design the layout in the form which you want. And after which, in the left hand side, we can see a few menus apart from the menu bar, that is a file symbol, a search symbol, and a Y symbol, and a triangle with a bug symbol. All these things are tools which we use during our coding. So the first one is a file explorer, which will show the folder which we opened and the files available in the current folder. And the next symbol is the search symbol, where you can type anything, and if it is available in any of the file which is opened in the folder, it will be showing where it is available and which character it is. And the next symbol signifies a source control, which is if the current folder which we are working is to be uploaded in a GitHub, we can directly upload the folder from VS Code. And the next symbol is run and debug. And if we have any breakpoints in our code, and if you want to debug the code, it will be displaying in the run and debug part of the window. And the next symbol is extensions, where all kind of extensions like code runner, prettier, and live server, all kinds of extensions will be available in the extensions panel. The other few symbols are few extensions which I use, and one interesting extension is in your face, which will be showing some facial expressions according to the number of errors you perform in the code. And the HTML and CSS doesn't have any errors, so it won't be useful in kind of HTML and CSS kind of files. With respect to Java or Python or with respect to any kind of programming languages, if we switch to this in your face, if the number of errors in the Java or a Python file is high, the facial expression will be differing, and if there is no error, the facial expression will be differing accordingly. So if we open the file explorer, we will be having what are all the files we need to use, and there are few options like creating new file or creating a new folder, and refreshing the explorer. If we made any changes or if we created any file, if we refresh it, it will be appearing over there. And if we click any file from the explorer, it will be appearing in the editor. So now I have created 3 files: index.html, style.css, and script.js, which is the most basic files for a web application. And the codes in the index.html, style.css, and script.js signifies the code for a to-do list. So now let me add br tag in the index.html file. We all know that br tag is a line breaker tag, and it is a standalone tag. So if someone who doesn't know if it is a standalone tag or a pair tag, they don't need to remember those things. If we simply type br, the tag will be displaying, and if we give enter, it will be typed according to the syntax which is to be followed. This is the feature of IntelliSense. So to run this folder, we have 3 options. Using code runner, we can run this file, or by pressing Ctrl F5 we can run this file, or also there is a feature called go live, that is using the extension live server, we can lively display the output of this index file in a web browser, so that if any changes occurs in this index.html or style.css or in a script.js, the changes will be immediately reflected in the web application. And to use this, we have to install an extension called live server. After installing, an option called go live will be appearing in the bottom right of the window. So if we click that go live, we will be directed to Chrome or some other web browser you use, and over there the website will be appearing. Apart from that, in the right side of the window near the scroll bar, there is a small panel where small letters will be appearing. That is nothing but the code which you wrote. It is useful when the code is of thousands of lines. So if we suppose we have to move from the 1th line to the 10,000th line, we simply can move from the panel which is available near the scroll bar. Now, to see how the breakpoints work and how an extension called in your face works, I'll show a demo with the main.java file. Here, the code in the main.java file is a simple code which gets input from the user a number and then displays the same. So let us keep a breakpoint near the int n equal to sc.nextDate. So whenever we get an input from the user, and while running, if we give a debugging option, the value passed by the user will be displayed in the debug console, and then after which it will be printed. And to demonstrate the in-your-face extension, initially my code has no errors. So now I type one sentence int a equal to 0 and end it without a semicolon. There is an error, so that the expression in the in-your-face extension will be changing. And if we make many errors, the expression will be completely changing. Like, let me remove the word sc, and you can see the expression in the in-your-face extension. This is a cool extension which can be used if suppose you are stressed during your coding time. So apart from this, there are a lot of extensions which are very much helpful for the developing part. And now I will run this code, and I will open the debug console. And when I enter a value in the terminal, let's say the value is 5, and after entering the value 5, immediately when the line is getting executed, the value of 5, that is the value of n, will be shown in the debug console, which is available in the left side of the editor and also in the terminal window. So like this, there are a lot of features that to be explained in the VS Code, and VS Code is one of the popular code editor which is used among 70% of the developers in the world. And similar to VS Code, there are also some other code editors like CodeBlocks or IntelliJ IDEA, but those editors are specific to only few languages. But VS Code is a generic code editor in which you can work with Python, Java, C, C++, HTML, CSS, and a lot of things can be done using the VS Code. With this, I am concluding my presentation. Thank you for your attention and interest in my presentation. I appreciate the opportunity to share my experience, introduce you to Visual Studio Code, a tool that enhances my development workflow. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.